Checking out the show. Let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already, after you subscribe on YouTube, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. Family, I'm not going to hold you long at all, just like your pastor. I'm not going to hold you long at all. I know you got to get back home and you got those greens on the stove and you're cooking them beans and you got that cornbread baking in the oven and you got that meatloaf chilling. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to hold you long, fam. But I did want to speak on this really quickly because lately, I've just had about enough of ESPN. And I think it's time for ESPN to get called out. ESPN is drama-filled. ESPN has a lot of messy commentary, a lot of gossip. They do everything but sports. They talk about drama and gossip and mess more than they talk about sports. That's right, I said it. They talk about drama, mess, and gossip more than they talk about sports. And that's why I stopped watching it years ago. If I see anything on ESPN, it's typically some news clip that went viral or something. But other than that, I don't watch ESPN because I don't see the value in it. The stuff that they talk about, hell, I can pretty much catch that anywhere. I don't have to, there was a time when you could go to ESPN and you could see stuff really related to sports. Everything was sports related. You dig what I'm saying? But then they got caught up in the clicks. They started getting caught up in the clicks and the likes and the subscribers. And they're competing against bloggers and YouTubers and, they're not really focused on sports journalism. They're more about the clicks and all of that kind of stuff now. So, ESPN ain't been good since Stuart Scott died. That's right, I said it. They don't do it for me, fam. They do not do it for me. And if you look at most of the sports shows these days, they're not good. They're just not good. They don't even talk about sports most of the time. And sometimes I would be critical of people who was like overtly critical of them for talking about politics and things like that, injecting politics in sports. To a degree, sports, politics are in sports, right? To a degree. But more than politics, they just messy. I get it if it's a cause. If they're talking about a cause, that's different. But most of the time they talking about what this ball player said about this ball player and who this person is dating, and they didn't score this many points because of what's happening in their personal life, all of this type of stuff. The people who cover sports are too involved in people's personal lives. That's my take. They're way too involved in the personal lives of athletes. And as Michelle Obama said, she talked about how Barack and others talk about her programming on television. Like she watched, I think she said something about the Housewives. She said, so she tried to watch the guys, what the guys are watching. And she said, hell, they got more drama and mess than they have on the Real Housewives. It's the same thing. They're on there screaming and hollering and hooping and hollering doing the whole time. Ain't talking about nothing. Just drama, drama. They're not talking about sports. They're talking about drama. They're not out there talking about stats unless they're trying to talk about stats to justify bringing somebody down. And you can look at it even when how they cover Angel Reese and Clark, Caitlin Clark. You can look at how they do that. They only mention stats when they try to justify how good one is over the other. That's it. But everything else is, she don't like such and such. Well, she said she didn't like her. But the way she looked, that was just not called. That was just uncalled for. Ain't got nothing to do with the game. Everything is how somebody looked, what they wore, And then they try to pretend that everybody else is focused on, they try to pretend that the athlete is just focused on their dress code and all of these off-screen antics, but, off the court antics, and off the field antics. But they're the ones who are hyping it up. They're the ones hyping it up. They're the ones, that keep it in the rumor mill. Most of these sports stories start on sports pages. They start on sports blogs and on sports networks. That's where they start. And they filter down. Most people go to ESPN first. They go to ESPN first. So they get the stories first. ESPN, Sports Illustrated, those types. Fox Sports or whatever. They get it first, and then it kind of filter down. So if they're not covering the drama and the mess, most of the time you probably wouldn't even see it. You wouldn't even know it exists. But they're the ones out there snooping around, all in people's personal business. They're the ones out there making their commentary personal. I do salute a couple of dudes out there who are on these networks or in place to try to mitigate some of the drama. Because there are dudes out there that are, it's a Riddick. I just got familiar with the dude, but his name is Riddick. I don't know his first name. I can't remember his first name. Was it John Riddick? Or something like that. But he's sharp. He's one of the newer cats. And I like the commentary that Clark does. Clark, why I can't say buddy name? Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark does some very, very good commentary. And, he does some really good commentary. And these guys stand up for issues a lot. They stand up for issues. And I think that's important to have those type of guys in place so that we can have a voice. Somebody who can help thwart the narrative that they try to present. We got to have people in place. We got to have people in place that can, offset the BS that they put out there. That's why it's important for us to have our own platforms. Yeah, something that they can't take away. It's important to have that. Otherwise, they shape the narrative and ain't nothing you can really do about it. But yeah, I don't rock with ESPN. I stopped rocking with ESPN years ago because I peeped it. And I don't like how they covered the whole kneeling thing with Kaepernick. I don't like how they did that. But ESPN is very much part of the media oligarchy. They are very much part of the system, the status quo. Don't get it twisted. Don't get thrown off because it's sports. It's still media. And the media in America has never been a friend to the black man, woman, or child. That's right. I said it and I say it again. I say it to their face. The media in America has never been a friend to the black man, woman, or child. So don't get caught up just because you see a couple of black faces in these spaces. Don't get caught up and start thinking it's sweet. Because all of that stuff that they do is carefully controlled. What's up, Ronnie? I see you. UPS victim, USPS victim. What up, L? Yeah, I just wanted to run that by y'all real fast, fam. Just because I saw this article where Michelle Obama called ESPN out. She's like, yeah, they full of drama. They ain't no different than housewives, and she's right. They're just housewives with different topics. That's it. Housewives with different topics. That's what ESPN has dwindled down to. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.